Chill Panic Diaries episode something. It's April 2nd, and I just had some weird shit happen I wanted to talk about. So, you know, I don't really believe in God. You know, I don't. It's hard for me to believe in a divine intelligence that's like specifically trying to help me out, you know. It just sounds a little too much like wishful thinking. But there's been 3 times in life where I felt like God spoke to me, or the universe spoke to me. It's one of those moments where it's like, it's not words, but it's like a deep knowing, and it's the strangest fucking thing ever. The first time was around 10-ish years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I felt like God literally told me to quit my job. This was when my daughter was a baby, and I was living with my aunt, and I was only having to pay like a little bit of rent because I had like a minimum wage job at a factory. Wasn't going great, and I was fucking miserable. And then and so also I was young enough and naive where people, you know, kind of pass that off as like, he's young, he'll figure it out. But I swear to fuck, I was at work and it felt like God was just like, hey boy, quit your job. And I've always been somebody who listens to my gut, so I fucking walked up to the HR lady and I was like, hey, I'm quitting. And so yeah, so that happened, and nothing came from that exactly like monetary wise, but it did force me to find my first beat client, like custom beat client, and it also allowed me the space to make music every day for a while, like all day, and see what that felt like. And I felt incredible, and that kind of anchored that feeling in me so that I didn't lose it. And I think that was, I didn't realize it at the time, but that was like a really important thing for me, because it showed me what could be possible if I kept going down this journey. And I don't think I would be working as hard even 10 years later at it if I hadn't have done that. So that makes me really happy. Second time God spoke to me, the reason I'm listing these is because I felt like they, them talked to me again yesterday for the first time in like 5 years. So yeah, the second time I felt like the universe or God was speaking to me was when I got a $1,500 or $1,200 water bill when I was living at this shitty 1-bedroom apartment, and I was the rent was like $600, which at the time I felt like was hard to manage. And so anyways, I couldn't afford a fucking $1,200 water bill. The reason I got it was because the toilet was fucked up. And I mean, I knew it was making a noise all the time where it was just like shh, but I didn't know that meant like it was running. Like I don't know shit about toilets. Bar. But so I couldn't afford my fucking power bill because I was trying to figure out how to pay the water shit and not get kicked out of my apartment. So I couldn't afford anything, and I was like upset. Your boy was crying a little bit, and I was in the shower, and the lights went out, but the water was still there. The water was still on, but the power had been shut off. And so I was taking a shower in the dark in this shitty 1-bedroom apartment, and I got on my knees and started to pray while in the shower because I was just so distraught and didn't know what to do. I felt like such a fucking failure as a dad and just as a man in general. I was like, I'm fucking 29 or 30, however old I was at the time. I might have been 28. Anyways, I was like, I'm old enough where this should not be happening. What the fuck is wrong with me? And I was so fucking, oh my God, I still remember that feeling. It was horrible. But, so I started fucking praying, right? Mind you, I had fuck, how do I say this without getting kicked out of YouTube? I had choked my chicken, polished my rocket the day before in the shower. Is this? Yeah, I was about to say, if you're letting me go, you gotta pull up a little bit. Alright, y'all, there you go. Here I go. Hey, we did it. But yeah, I had polished my rocket. I had pleased myself in the shower the day before, and there was a little bit of jizz. Oh shit, can I say that? Well, too late, I already did. There was a little bit of splooge on the shower drain. So as I was praying, my fucking face went in it. I don't remember exactly what happened, if it like got on my nose or what, but yeah. And when that happened, I just started fucking laughing my ass off. And it felt like at that very moment, the universe or God said to me, it's not that deep. You made a mistake. People fuck up. All you gotta do is you gotta start from here. You can't just cry about it, you know? It's like, it's just go time. You gotta figure this out. And you'll figure it out, and it'll be fine. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, basically the gist of what, some of that was my own interpretation, but like the actual, what I felt, the deep knowing was, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. So, that was like 3 years ago, I do believe. Might have been 4. No, 3. It was probably 3. I just tried to shut my garage door. I'm at work, not at home. So yeah, that was about 3 years ago. And yesterday, in the shower, I wasn't even really thinking about anything, I don't think. I mean, I probably was thinking about financial concerns, because that's kind of always stressing me out. And the universe said something a little more specific this time. And mind you, I don't know if I truly believe in all of this or not. I'm very skeptical of magical thinking, and I would like to lean more into magical thinking because it's fun. So I'd like to lean into that a little bit more once I get financially stable. Because until that point, I can't be sure that it's helpful to me or that it's the right path for me until I'm financially stable, because otherwise it could just be an excuse to feel better about my choices. So that's why I'm really skeptical about thinking religiously or spiritually at this point in my life. But I'm trying to get some of that back without completely going off the deep end. Because the reason I'm so logical is because I'm very, very prone to magical thinking and stuff like that. But what the universe said this time was rooted in practicality. And I think masculinity as well, because I've been reading Iron John by Robert Bly, and it's some of the things he said have just had a really profound effect on my perception, which is really good because I haven't had a perception shift like that drastic in a long time. And yeah, it's basically about masculinity and stuff, and which is something I've always struggled with, like finding the masculine part of myself. I feel like I've gotten really comfortable with the feminine part of myself, like my anima or animos or whatever it's called. I can't remember. You know, the feminine part of men, and then the other one is the masculine part of women. But I feel like I've developed that side of myself greatly, to a really good degree, and I am proud of that, because that does take work, and that's that can be difficult, but it's also, it's more like, sorry, somebody just pulled up beside me. Let me just finish the video because I got to go into work, because that's actually part of what the universe was talking about. So the universe told me something very specific. It said, do the ordinary things for 90 days and I'll give you everything you ever wanted. And that was a weird one, because I've never got something that specific. It's always been like, it's not a big deal and quit your job, you know. This was like, I never got a time frame from it before. And the ordinary things are the things like cleaning up my car. Oh, you can't see it, but my car is nasty as fuck. And you can see I still haven't done it. This happened yesterday morning. Another ordinary thing that I'm not good at is getting to work on time. And the reason I'm listening to this universe call so deeply and so trustingly is because even if it is magical thinking, it has practical value, because I would have more money if I got to work every day on time. So I really want to get to work every day on time for at least 90 days. And I feel like just doing that would change my financial situation, like, in a great way. So yeah, I really should stop talking to this camera and get up in there. Like, for instance, talking to this camera is part of the feminine side I've developed, like the artistic side, the making YouTube video side. I'm really good at forcing myself to do that and expressing myself creatively. Getting to work on time, cleaning out my car, brushing my teeth, taking out the trash, all the other things that I put off and excuse it because I make the excuse that I'm putting it off because I need more time for music. It's just gotten to a point where I feel like I've outgrown it. And that was another thing that it felt like the universe was saying, was that it can't give me more right now because I haven't grown into what I already have, if that makes sense. Like, the house I have, which was way more expensive than I could actually afford, and that was the reason I got that house, was because I was in a very unique situation where I had a friend that was renting out somewhere, and she really wanted somebody that she knew to rent it out, so that way, you know, she just didn't like the idea of having a stranger living in her house, and she was worried about having like a nightmare tenant or something. So me going there was good for her, and a pivotal growth moment for me, because, and it makes it so much better that a lot of people thought it was a dumb idea, which feeds the rebellious side of me. So I was almost happy that most people didn't agree with my decision, and it gave me something to prove. You know, it gives me a little bit of an edge. It helps. But so even though I've been in this house for 2 years, I haven't mastered it yet. I'm still struggling to pay the bills, and it's getting better, and I'm making a little bit more money from YouTube and music production. So like, there's been a slow increase in revenue, even though it kind of goes up and down. The general curve is going up. So yeah, but I'm not optimizing every way I could to be making money and keep the YouTube channel growing. Like, waking up early. So yeah, that's the insight I got. Do the ordinary things, and I'll change your life in 90 days. So we'll see what happens by June. Because I also made a contract to myself with the universe and put it in my wallet. And I actually did this in January. Today is April 2nd. And the contract I made with the universe is that by June 6th, roughly 90 days from now, which is kind of crazy because I forgot this shit was in here until I had that like thought, and then I thought about it. I was like, wait, 90 days? What date did I set the agreement? And then But yeah, the first one was I will make 100K a year from music/YouTube. Number 2 is I will be a full-time musician, creator with free time to create the music in my soul. And number 3 was I will have a successful dating/sex life. Then I said, so be it. And I signed my name and put the date. So, which was January 30th, 2025. So yeah, for the first time in a while, I have a really, really profound, deep sense of hope. And that's the main thing that gets me through this shit, because it's real hard building a YouTube channel and trying to be successful in something creative. So yeah, I'm gonna do the ordinary things for 90 days, and I'm gonna just see what happens. I'm gonna continue making YouTube videos, but I'm not gonna stress as much about the analytics, just like I said in the previous video. And I'm gonna trust. This feels so weird to say coming from me, but I'm gonna trust God, trust the universe to do its thing. I'm gonna let go. I have a really firm grasp right now. I'm always having some type of angst or stress about it. I'm just gonna try as hard as I can to let that go. And I'm just gonna do my videos and leave the rest up to the almighty algorithm and the universe. And yeah, I'm excited. So look what I'm wearing. In 90 days, your boy might be wearing something a little more nice. Look at my goddamn hair. Jesus. That's another thing. Maintaining my hair and shaving my head. That's another ordinary thing I need to master. So yeah, this 90 days is going to be like a boot camp for getting the normal shit down. This feels like a true maturity and growing moment, and I am struggling with it already, to be honest with you, but I'm also excited. So yeah, that's it. Chill Panic out.